Hello, 20s. It's a bit of a late one. It's late afternoon as I'm filming this. Yeah, look, we're still in the trenches. Me and a couple of other divine feminines that I've spoken to, but let's do a reading. Let's see what needs to come up. Let's see what the divine masculine wants to tell us. Yeah, things in the 3D are getting really, really difficult to. There's just this inability. I'm just going to straight channel this. There's just this inability that it seems with the divine feminine energy to really just hone in on hope and strength for the connection. There's a lot of hopelessness that the divine feminine is feeling in their own life. And there's a culmination of things. It's, obviously the connection, the way that things are going or showing in the connection with the divine masculine. There's a lot of fear surfacing. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of, inability to trust in ourselves and in the divine masculine. There's just a lot of hopelessness and helplessness. Like there's just, the divine feminines are really, really struggling with like seeing a way through anything, just in life in general. There's just a lot of stuff. And we have the full moon in Virgo next Tuesday. Or Monday for those of you in the States or in the Northern Hemisphere. But let's see what the divine masculine is really wanting us to know about where the divine feminine currently is. Like, divine masculine, what is it that you want us to know about where we're currently at? Simply love and rebuild. So, and I even feel this sense of like resentment as I'm pulling these cards. And I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. Like, I'm really struggling. I'm really, really struggling. Yeah, there's this sense of like safety that's not being felt within the self here. Yeah, there's a lot of like feeling really alone and really like, I guess depression is really what is showing up here as far as energy goes with this sort of stuff. Heal sacral chakra. So this is still, we're still on the sacral healing. There is still sort of sacral, this sacral chakra really, let's read what it says in here about the sacral. Yeah, so I want is really the key word for the sacral chakra. Wants, needs, desires. By energizing the sacral chakra, you attract creativity, joy, passion, and love into your life. Relates to emotions, desires, creativity, and sexuality. So there's this sort of like blockage, and it's really being healed right now. How is it being healed? New vitality through challenging times. Okay, so all that I can say, guys, is that our divine masculine counterpart, high self, which is also our divine masculine energy, is depriving us of that feminine energy that we are so wanting, because it's time for us to cultivate it. And this is, we're learning how to cultivate that feminine energy that we're seeking from our divine masculine. Because this feminine energy is actually something that comes quite naturally to the divine masculine, and divine masculine energy is something that comes quite naturally to us as divine feminines, meaning this is something that we've sort of incarnated with, that's super easy, that we have to learn how to, through this connection, incorporate the opposite of that, which is the feminine energy. And for them, they need to learn to cultivate the masculine energy. And there's just this energy of just like both of us just sort of like repelling because we're both trying to get something from the other that we're not supposed to be giving. And this feeling of like hopelessness and just really just wanting to give up, like in its simplicity. And I don't mean to come on here and be like a downer, but there's just this energy of just like I have no capacity for anything. Like no capacity for anything right now. And I think the divine masculine's the same. Find balance and observe. So there's this needing to find balance through how the divine feminine, how we are feeling. And there's something about this observing energy. I'm going to read that. Okay, so we're being asked to release, surrender, reconsider patience, cycles, and perspective. So a new understanding around matters of the heart is waiting to be revealed to you. Be still and observant. Yeah, okay. So the way that we find balance is through just being observant and just like giving up in a sense. And what I mean by giving up is just like stop trying to find solutions, stop trying to find answers, stop trying to fight against what you're seeing in your reality, what you're feeling. Stop trying to fix it. Stop trying to make sense of it. Stop trying to find answers. Stop trying to like hurry it up. I think that's the best way to describe it. And what's really difficult for us, if you're resonating with this energy, what's really difficult for us that are experiencing this is we don't know how to just surrender to it. Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? How do you actually Okay, so I'm getting a download about what I'm saying here. I'm getting a download it's about because the reason we don't know how to just surrender to what we're experiencing is because of being in survival mode our whole life. So the ebbs feel like insurmountable challenges that we have to prepare for, that we have to get ready to fight against. And if you're resonating with this message right now, I want you to stop. I want you to or go and just pause this and go and get a journal, and I want you to do some shadow work around this right now before it goes away. Now is not the time to take action. Instead, take a step back and wait. Reflect upon the relationship or issue. What is really happening? Release the need or desire to direct the relationship and simply go with the course of events. When you surrender to the experience, you'll learn a great deal and ultimately get what you truly need. Sometimes it's in releasing that we discover what we really need as opposed to what we think we need. Trust the process, have faith in the journey, and let go of the outcome. And for us, that's really hard. Like I don't know how to surrender. I don't know how to just stop and just see what this is trying to show me. I don't know how to like not try and do damage control before, like, do you know what I mean? I don't know, because what it feels like, it's like, just from my own personal experience, what this feels like I'm being asked to do is be complacent and be productive. And I don't know how the fuck to do that, especially when it comes to like my relationship. Like I feel like, especially when it comes to twin flame stuff, like if I don't, this ties back into the micromanaging. And I think what's really happening in these last two to 3 days is spirit is really trying to really drag apart the layers, and the divine masculine is helping facilitate this. We've got coming together here. I'm just thinking about that. And through trust, the darkest fears, rest and reconsider what's going on. Okay, so yeah, like how do we just be complacent in our connection? And I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying like literally be complacent, but that's what it feels like to let go and surrender to what is coming up. Feels like we're being complacent, and that's what we need to lean into. That's what is so difficult and so uncomfortable, and that's what we need to lean into. So divine masculine, how the fuck do we even do that right now? Seek. How do we do that right now? Release. The thing is, those of you who are resonating with this message with me, we are much more, what is it? Hayley Williams from Paramore. I've been really obsessed with them lately since they've released their new album, and Paramore has always been a huge part of who I am as a person and my music. Hayley Williams said something in regards to coming back, and I want to find it and I want to read it to you guys because it makes so much sense and it really resonated. One sec. She said, I'm trying to get unaddicted to a survival narrative. The idea of imminent doom is less catastrophic to me than not knowing anything about the future or my part in it. Somehow that is harder for me to adjust to. That resonates with me in a way that I can't even begin to explain. And that's what this is about here. It's almost like this survival narrative. So this is the survival narrative. How do we let go of trying to fix something that we are so scared of getting broken, which is the connection between the divine masculine and the divine feminine? Divine masculine, like, help us right now. Like, really help any divine feminines who are watching this. Please ask your divine masculine part of you to help you right now. Like, helpless and hopeless. I knew this was going to come up. And throat chakra. Okay. It's like what's being asked here is to express this in some kind of way through your expression. Change your focus in crown chakra. There's going to be some downloads coming in that is going to allow you to change your focus and allow you to express this helplessness and this hopelessness that you are experiencing. And I don't know if this is about, talking to somebody about it, talking it to your divine masculine about it. And that terrifies the fuck out of me because I know that's only going to drive my divine masculine further away from me because that's going to feel like way too much pressure. So I don't know if this is asking us to communicate this feeling with our divine masculine or just with somebody else. Restricted obstacles, powerless action. While the title of this card may sound bleak, don't let it scare you. This card arrives as a wake-up call to adjust your thinking about a situation or relationship. You may feel that obstacles have been placed in your way, preventing you from achieving your dreams around love. You may think that your situation is beyond hope and that you are powerless to improve it. Nothing could be further from the truth. However, all that is required is a willingness to take action, assess your current state of affairs and decide what needs to change. Then take decisive steps to make those changes and move yourself into a position of empowerment. By taking action, you take charge of the situation. Feel the power in that. Recognize that you do have the ability to create the relationship of your dreams. Nothing can hold you back unless you let it. Take charge, step into your power and watch your relationships flourish. Now, in this situation, it's not about taking action. It's about taking action in the sense of deciding to let go, not of the connection, not of your person, not of your relationship. If you're in a relationship with your divine masculine, it's about the letting go of that survival narrative. And part of that means embracing helplessness and hopelessness. And part of that is embracing complacency in your connection. You don't. And this is the thing, like, I don't know where this directly is linked to, and I'm going to talk to my therapist about this next week. But there's this sort of feeling of like, as soon as there are perceived issues or perceived problems that feel insurmountable, where'd my lashes go? We get into this like, need to survive it, because insurmountable problems mean unsolvable problems, which means irreconcilable differences, which means endings. But there's a need to rest and reconsider. I'm going to read this because this feels significant. Fatigue, perseverance, strength, and recharge. Sometimes the struggle to create and maintain harmonious and fulfilling relationships just seems like too much work. You put forth your best effort and give more than your share, and find that there are still issues to be dealt with. Oh my God. You're tired, and at times you just want to give up. The message of this card is to persevere. You may have been disappointed or hurt in the past. Know that those past sorrows have made you stronger, and even though you don't feel that way at the moment, this is a good time to briefly step away from any conflict or issues around love. Give yourself some space to relax and replenish your energy. Continuous effort stresses the body and dulls the mind. You need to rest and reconsider your methods. Once you've recharged yourself, you'll be stronger, clear-headed, and confident, ready to move forward once again with new ideas about how to improve the situation. The fact that gets me so emotional means that I have never had the space to ever do that. And the Divine Masculine is saying, please, 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 please do this, because this is how we come back together. You overextending yourself, Divine Feminine, us overextending ourselves puts us in a position of being out of balance with our masculine. And it prevents them from coming forward. It prevents the issues from being solved. And this is because this is not a regular connection. This connection is here for a purpose, to learn how to do relationship differently. Okay? And we're just going to keep running into problems when we're trying to approach it from a regular kind of way, or the way in which we have been taught. Especially if that way we have been taught is through the lens of trauma, which for a lot of us, and if you're resonating with this message, it absolutely fucking has been through the lens of trauma. And that's the whole point of this connection, of this relationship, of the whole twin flame journey, is to undo all of that. Opportunity beckons. The opportunity for joy and stability is here. So our focus is to learn how to surrender to the moment and to let go. We are people who have had a lot of burden put on us from a very, very young age. So this is all we know. So even though our Divine Masculine is not putting that burden on us, we are doing that to ourselves now, because that's the only way we know how to operate from. And it's scary because every bone in your body is telling you, no, I need to fix this. And we need to talk about this. We need to fix this issue between us. We need to do this. We need to do that. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And then it becomes this incredible feeling of just this insurmountable issue. And then we feel like the only solution is to give up. Or there's too much here. That means we have to break up, or that means we have to end the connection. And then that brings so much anxiety and so much instability. And that's just not true. And as I'm saying, I'm talking to myself, and I feel like a hypocrite saying this, because I know that after this reading, I'm going to go back to my life and I'm going to really struggle. I'm really going to fucking struggle to put that into practice. And I know you might too. Even though this information feels so like monumental and it makes so much sense as I'm saying it and as I'm channeling it, I still don't have a fucking clue how I'm going to do that. So let's just, for those of you who feel the same, let's just ask the Divine Masculine to sort of, what are some practical steps that we can do after this reading to just let go and just to surrender and be in the moment. And you know what, that's an integral, that's an integral part of the connection, the twin flame connection, that we are trying to bypass. We're trying to spiritually and emotionally bypass. Surrendering to the moment, like being present in these difficulties instead of trying to just fix them and not experience them. This is part of those things that we are having to experience. Awaiting results, believe and succeed. Okay, they want me to read awaiting results. Let's head to the next part. Okay, so this next part, awaiting results, is what we were reading. Patience, assessment, outcome, and alternatives. You've put much energy into creating and attracting the relationships you desire and are eager to see positive results. Patience is needed, however. Reshaping attitudes and beliefs take time. Refining yourself so that you will attract just the right person is a process. If you find yourself becoming frustrated at the apparent lack of visible change, step back and focus on something other than your relationships for a while. And that's something that I can't comprehend. I don't know how to do that. That's not a concept that I have ever experienced. I've never been able to experience shifting my focus onto something else whilst I'm waiting for something to work itself out. And when it comes to relationships, it's so obvious to me. Like, we know this is a universal truth that relationships like need work. But I'm getting that the Divine Masculine can't do any of the work that this connection relationship requires when you're trying to do it all for them. And trusting and, being present in the moment and surrendering that role to them, that masculine role to them, is something that is so fucking hard, because we inherently, if you're resonating with this message, the things that we've been through in our life, we cannot trust that somebody else will do that for us, will do the work. We've never had that shown. And I'm just thinking, this is fundamentally everything that I have been reading about in this collective for the past 12 months. And we're revisiting it 12 months later. So this has to be that turning point where it's like, it's finally got to sink in. When you're feeling more detached, you'll be in a better position to notice any improvements. Ooh, that's a big one. If you've invested enough time, then take a moment to evaluate your progress. Look for alternative strategies to affect the change you desire. What works with one person may not work with another. When working on yourself, be sure that you're being true to who you are and simply not following society's formula for relationships. This is exactly what I was talking about. Confidence, achievement, inspiration, recognition. Faith is powerful and can bring about amazing results. It's important at this time to believe in yourself and your aspirations regarding love. Think and act as if all you desire is inevitable. Your confidence will send a signal to the universe that you're ready to have that perfect relationship. The energies of success are around you. Use them to achieve your dreams. A lighthouse shines its light as a beacon to passing ships to help them navigate the surrounding waters. At this time, you can be a beacon to others. This really is about letting go, Divine Feminine.